Hello knitters, Barbara Benson here. I'm an independent knitwear designer who also likes to make videos here on my YouTube channel, Watch Barbara Knit. Make sure to check in the description notes below the video where you will find links to all of my online shenanigans, including how to get my patterns to knit up for yourself, how to join the Watch Barbara Knit Facebook group, how to support me on Patreon, and where to get my merchandise. Today we have a Fave 5 for you, and I know how much y'all love Fave 5s. I really appreciate the feedback in the comments where you tell me you love Fave 5s. So it's February, and I decided, because alliteration, I was going to do Fave 5 February. So all of the videos this week from here on out are going to be Fave 5s, because why not have a little fun? I got my pattern launch done at the very beginning of the month, so we can just be Fave 5 for the rest of February. Now, I decided to do this a little differently because instead of doing 5 different designers every video, sticking with the alliteration, wanted to do Fave 5 February with featured designers, which means each video is only going to be about one designer, and I am going to pick the 5 of their patterns that make me want to cast on the most, but also take into consideration what I know y'all like and what I think you might want to see. It's all of that stuff going on. And of course, I needed to have a theme for the month, because there's always a theme for these videos, and luckily February comes with a built-in theme because in the United States it is Black History Month. So all of the designers that are going to be in these featured Fave 5 designers are going to be Black designers. So it gave me an ability to narrow down my search, because there's so many amazing designers out there, and to find some designers that are new to me that I have never seen before. And I've had a lot of fun looking through an amazing amount of patterns, and I caused problems for myself because looking at someone's entire portfolio and trying to only pick 5 is really, really hard. So many beautiful patterns. So earlier in the week, you would have seen that I did a teaser for this. So I'm giving myself an out and a way to show off more beautiful patterns from these amazing designers. Also, you can notice we're at a slightly different angle. I have messed with my setup a bit, and so now I will be looking over in this direction because I've swapped my monitors. If you've watched Fave 5 before, you know that I have all of the information pulled up on a different monitor, and I read it to y'all so that I make sure that I get all of the information correct. So we are doing Fave 5 featured designer for the month of February, and our first designer is Noma Ndlovu. Very excited about that. I have her information up over here, and her handle is Bigger Than Life Knits. Her name is Noma. I started knitting when I was 5 and has been doing it for as long as she remembers. She enjoys designing socks, sweaters, shawls, and actually she just needs to add everything on there because she's got so many amazing things. I love designing pieces which are easy to work on and at the same time exciting and not tedious for the knitter. Speaking to my heart, the designs have to meet the following criteria: functionality, simplicity, and elegance. And if I go and click through to her personal page, she is in Johannesburg in South Africa. So that is super cool. Now let's get right into the patterns. Oh, I gotta point in the opposite direction now. It's over here now. So to kick things off, see what I did there? We're gonna look at some socks. Obviously, these socks really grabbed me because slip stitches. Y'all know I love slip stitches. I love color, and a pattern that lets me use more than one color. Always gonna make me happy. Slip stitches always make me happy. So I really like, she has a lot of amazing socks. These are the ones I picked out. They are called the Gratitude Attitude socks. And the explanation on the page is that they are knit from the cuff down and work up quickly in a simple yet interesting slip stitch pattern. And they are knit with fingering weight yarn. That's not going to come to any surprise to sock knitters. And did I say they're, yeah, cuff down. The tags gives me information saying that it's a short row heel for those of y'all who have preferences with heels. I do know that the vast majority of really hardcore sock knitters are perfectly comfortable substituting whatever heel they want to. She used a super twist sock from Nurturing Fibers, 100% merino. I'm sure any sock yarn is going to work well with this. Obviously, you need 2 colors. She calls for a US size 1, which is 2.25 millimeters, and a US size 2, which is 2.75 millimeters, and a total of between 306 and 372 yards, which is 280 to 340 meters. Got to get the imperial and the metric in there. One thing, I chose this picture specifically because one thing that I really liked about this, well, several things. I like A, slip stitches, B, grello. I know color's not supposed to influence me, but I love gray and yellow together. I am a particular fan of socks that have the cuff, the heel, and the toe in like a contrasting color. I don't know why, it just makes me happy. But the other thing I really want you to note is that the sole, and this is about design attention to detail. It has this gorgeous textured pattern on the calf and the top of the foot, but the bottom of the foot is stockinette. And that is something that I really like, because when you have the patterning like on the bottom of the foot, sometimes like if you're sensitive, if your little tootsie toesies are sensitive, having that texture on your bottom of your foot, some people don't like it. So I really like that she put the effort into making the bottom just the stockinette with the texture on the top. Here is another look so you can see a close up of the texture on the sock right here. You've got those nice slip stitches with some garter in between them. Really fun texture. So that is the, so those are the Gratitude Attitude socks. Obviously, they're all from the same designer, Noma Ndlovu, so I don't have to say that over and over again. But I do want to mention that the links to where you can get all these patterns are going to be in the description notes below the video. I have linked to both her Ravelry store and her Etsy store for availability options. This, oh my goodness, absolutely gorgeous. This is Nia Carlo, I believe. I looked up how to pronounce that, and just, I adore this. So lovely. Again, the color may have sucked me in. I had a hard time narrowing down it, like of her, oh, let me check here. So she has 161 patterns on Ravelry, so it was tough narrowing them down, but I absolutely love this. This is knit in fingering weight yarn, so it's really lightweight. It would be something that I could definitely use, but I also like that it has the long sleeves. But there's lace in the sleeve, so it's kind of this in between. For me, this would be like a fall or an early spring garment. For people who live in colder areas, this might be a summer garment. It is knit on US size 5, which is 3.75 millimeter, and US size 4, which is 3.5 millimeter. There's a wide range of yardages. I'm not going to tell you all those because she has it sized from a 34-inch bust all the way up to a 66-inch bust. So wide range of yarn yardages required. She used Super Twist Sock by Nurturing Fibers. I think that's the same yarn as the Yep. So she obviously likes that yarn. I've got to check it out. Says this is a circular yoke pullover knit from the top down, featuring a stockinette yoke and then a lace pattern on the body and sleeves. Now this is what grabbed me that I thought was super fun. The sleeves are worked straight with no decreases to the cuff, where decreases are made quickly before the ribbing. So these little poofy sleeves are like really popular right now. So it's not tight through here, and it gives that lace room to move instead of tapering the entire length of the sleeve. She just does a quick taper right to get into the cuffs. I adore, pointing this way, I adore that she has the stockinette down to just below the bust line, and then the lace starts at the bottom part. If you want a longer garment, I'm confident that you could just keep on going with that lace and it would be absolutely lovely. I really like this look, and it's very body conscious, which is fantastic. Now here is a shot of it flat where you can really see the distinction between this yoke stockinette and then this beautiful lace pattern that comes down, and then also the sleeve, and you can see where it tapers in. So I thought this one was really super fun, and you know, it's in fingering weight, so I can think of any number of yarns that I would love to knit this with. So that's Nia Carlo. Let's go to the next one. Okay, while I was looking through her patterns, if you come to our Final Thursday YouTube live, you've heard me say that I feel like I want to know where all the shrugs have gone. Shrugs were super hot for a while, and I really think that shrugs need to make a comeback because I absolutely love them. And also in discussions we had about garments that are really good to knit for people who use mobility devices, something that isn't going to get caught up in various and sundry types of mobility devices. I wanted to include this shrug because I think they're great for that kind of not having to mess with something dangling or something that's going to fall off. It's like a wearable shawl. All shawls are wearable, but this is like one it's somewhere, like has the coverage of a shawl, but it wears and stays put like a garment. This is the Honor Shrug, and it is knit in bulky weight yarn, so it's gonna be a fast knit, and on a size 10 or US size 10 6.0 millimeter needle, and the sizes available, and these aren't really fitted garments, so it's 30 to 34, 36 to 40, 42 to 46, and then 48 to 52. But again, it's more about the distance across the shoulders, and the distance across the back is not have as much variance as the distance across the front of the chest. So I really think this is going to be fitting for most people. It has a lot of room in the sleeves. They're pretty much knit as giant rectangles and then seamed. So this is knit. She does have that it says in the round and worked flat. So you're going to be doing both. It is a simple knit purl pattern. So it's going to be a really fun, simple texture to knit. It says, great accessory for cool days in between seasons. It says it makes a great gift for teens and young adults. Skills required: working in the round and seamed using a mattress stitch. She has it listed as an advanced beginner knit. Here is what it looks like from the front. It's just got that around. Obviously it's down here at the sleeves that's going to be knit in the round, and then I'm guessing she splits and you knit flat for a while and then probably come back, or maybe it's in two pieces and seam down the middle. But wait a minute, I don't really see a visible seam down the middle, so I'm not sure where the seam is. There's a seam in there somewhere. It's just, I think it's a really nice, useful piece that would be a great addition to a wardrobe. And as I said, for accessibility issues, I think it is a great pattern. Okay, the next one I have, oh my goodness, absolutely gorgeous. Ooh, did I get these out of order? I did. We're going to go back and forth. So here it is from the front. This is Tiisetso, and it's a waterfall cardigan. What a waterfall cardigan is a cardigan that they have no intention of you ever buttoning it. It doesn't have a button band. It just hangs open in the front and waterfalls down your body. This is DK weight yarn, and it's on a US size 6 or 4 millimeter needle. It has 8 different sizes, and they go from a 33-inch bust up to a 66-inch bust. This one has a really great variety of lace patterns in it. I am seeing that I really was drawn more towards the lace. I mean, I had color work and I had texture. She did have a lot of different patterns that had cables in them, but maybe it's because it's getting warm. I was more drawn to the lace. I really want to encourage everyone to go to her portfolio, go to her Instagram, and see all of the wide variety of beautiful pieces that she has. Let's see. Tiisetso is a top-down waterfall cardigan with different lace patterns mixed to create an interesting and unique look. The cardigan is knit from the collar down. The project will keep the knitter engaged, I like that, and works quickly in the DK weight yarn. And so you can see it's got the one lace pattern that's almost like the shawl collar, and it's got the zigzags, and then you can see the zigzags in the back, but then at the bottom part you've got more of this type of pattern. It's just got a really nice mix. Again, very body conscious. It has a really nice shape to it, and I think that's coming a lot from the different how much the different laces are going to expand. But the other thing that really grabbed me about this, and I pulled this, I don't normally show these kinds of schematics. She has schematics, which is something you look for in a pattern. You want to have all this information. This is something that you couldn't really see from, except from one of the photos, but you could really see it on this, how it has that kind of turn. So it's like a wrap kind of situation. If you wanted to pull it close, it's got a lot of fabric. It doesn't have it in the pattern, but I'm confident that if you wanted to like knit like a band, like a tie, you could tie this shut. I really like that supplice look. I think it's very flattering if you really wanted to close this piece. So that is, I think, an absolutely love this cardigan. And number 5, did you think we were gonna get away with no shawl? Obviously not. Not gonna get away with no shawl. And this one ticks all of the boxes for what I know a lot of y'all like. A, this is gonna work great with variegated yarn. She did it in a variegated yarn. It looks fantastic. B, it is a one skein shawl. You can get a whole shawl out of one skein. C, it's gonna be a very soothing knit. It's a combination of garter and dropped stitches, which gives it that open and then shut look. Absolutely love it. She also said it has picots along, not the neck edge, but along the side edge, and then a little bit of picot on the bind off. I'm sure if you're not a picot person, you could probably skip that part, but it's a really sweet, fun detail. So this is designed for a light fingering. I'm confident it would work in regular fingering as well. US size 6, 4 millimeter needle. Calls for 421 yards, but this is one of those side to side, start tiny, grow big, big long bind off. I'm fairly confident it's going to be really flexible with the amount of yardage that you can use. So if you have different yardage, I'm sure you could make it bigger if you have more than one skein. So the shawl is a one skein project. A bigger shawl can be knit if more yarn is used. There you go. I was right. I was right. All you need is to work more pattern repeats. This asymmetric shawl is knit using a combination of garter and drop stitch. One side of the shawl and the bottom edge has the picot edging to add more interest. The shawl is an easy to knit, perfect for TV knitting and traveling, also for showing off one unique skein of yarn. You know how we like doing that here. So it says it's advanced beginner. Here is another look where you can really see, I'm going to have to get used to pointing the other direction. You can really see the drop stitches, and it gives it a much lighter look without having to mess with any actual lace. See, I didn't pick all lace. So this is the, I never said the name of it. This is the Autumn Shawlette. And I think it is absolutely lovely from Noma Ndlovu. So there we go. Let's go back to just me. So there we go. That is the first of the February featured Fave 5. All those F's make me so happy. You can look forward to more and some fun special things happening the rest of the month. I have new to me designers. I have some designers you're going to recognize. And of course, the last Thursday, we will have YouTube the live on the last Thursday of the month. So I hope you enjoyed this Fave 5 and are looking forward to meeting more new designers and looking at more beautiful patterns. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, click that like button. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload a new video, please subscribe to my channel and select notifications. Thank you so much.